Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. It is Monday, April 5th, 10 a.m. Central, in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I think we've got the old mic back up and running. I had to get I picked up a cable for it, and this seems to work. So hopefully we're good to go. I may have to adjust some settings. I'm not going to do it now, though. I think we're okay for today. Anyway, what are we looking at today? We're looking at the HMGS Midwest Convention Little Wars. It's the Historical Miniatures Gaming Society Midwest chapter. They have got chapters all over the U.S. The big one might be out east because they have two big conventions in Pennsylvania. Cold Wars is one of the biggest conventions around, and now it's escaping my memory. Let's just do a quick search here. Right on Historicon, of course. Despite what you might think, they are not strictly historical miniatures gaming. There is occasionally some fantasy or sci-fi. It is, I believe, strictly miniatures gaming. So I've gone on and off over the years. When I lived in Mount Prospect and when the Little Wars convention was at the Marriott in Lincolnshire, it was very close to where I lived, and I would go. I think 2010 was the last year that I went full time. I've been up in Lake Geneva since then. I stopped by, just poked my head in, mask and all, to Autumn Wars, which they did at the Grand Geneva last fall, October. It was sparsely attended, which is what they had wanted and expected. And distancing and masks being worn and temperatures being taken, and as many of the precautions as were suggested, short of just not having it. But they are moving forward with having the convention at the Westin Chicago Lombard. I'll put this information down in the show notes for afterwards in the description. The Westin Chicago Lombard is at 70 Yorktown Center in Lombard, Illinois, 60148. The convention will take place from the end of this month, April 29th, Thursday, through May 2nd. I had hoped, in my case, that I would have been inoculated against or vaccinated by then. Sadly, the vaccine that I'm getting requires a second shot 4 weeks afterward, and that will come at the beginning of the last week of April, just days before. And I am not confident that I'll be feeling well enough to attend. I've already bought a ticket. That's bought. That's done. I don't mind that. I don't mind supporting the convention even if I can't make it myself. But I had planned. I'd hoped that I would be fully vaccinated by then and a couple of weeks beyond the vaccination at that point. But because of the way the timing worked out and because of the timing on the second dose, which is with Moderna 4 weeks later, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm going to wait before I cancel my hotel reservation until we get closer, because I hope against hope, if for some reason I get a call the week before and they say we've got some openings, come on in. If there's any way that I can get this done a week and a half, 2 weeks prior to the convention, then I will do so, and I'll move forward and feel safe enough. I think people should still probably be wearing masks at that point, even if they're vaccinated, because you don't know if you can carry something and pass it on to someone who isn't vaccinated. It should be understood that Historical Miniatures Gaming Society, Midwest and otherwise, tend to skew to an older demographic, which in this case is relevant because most people that are older will have been vaccinated at that point. So if there's something that's in their favor for being older, then that's a thing, I guess. What else? Well, you know what? We should take a look at some of the information that is on their website. Let me just switch this around. We'll pop this over here. And go here. Yeah, there we go. This was in their newsletter, beginning of this, so reminder of the dates: April 29th through May 2nd. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The program event listings cutoff is coming up pretty soon. We'll take a look at that in just a little bit too when we get over to where it's all being set up. We can do this actually and do this. Go to their website, hmgsmidwest.com, local chapter. I think they're based in Illinois, really. March 31st. This just popped up last week. That's their newsletter download. We'll get back to that. Let's go down to here. Little Wars. This goes back to 2011, but of course, I even have a t-shirt from 2010, which I think was the last time I went full-time. I don't wear it on the show because it's a green shirt. It's neat as it is. I like wearing it quite a bit. Let's go to 2021 and have a look at that there. Little Wars 2021. Historical Miniatures Gaming Society. And there's your link to get over to Tabletop Events. I already have that open, so I'll pop over there. Last day for early bird discount for badges is passed. That was April 1st. That's okay. Last day submitted event was March 15th, 2021. So we missed that. Now, I've mentioned this before, but doesn't mean you can't grab a badge and go play if you're in the area and you feel comfortable doing so. If you're vaccinated and ready to go, there's a little map down here, lower right, on the Tabletop Events website. Driving directions and all of that. It's a straight western suburb from Chicago, so it's pretty easy to get to. Oh, I forgot this old mic really picks up trucks when they drive by outside. I'll have to remember that. My other headset that I was using for the last few weeks in the interim while I was trying to straighten out the microphone situation really did not pick that up. Get your badge here. We'll go there first. Pop on over. Any number of badge types, members, and membership gets built into these, right? So you can since Little Wars is the premier, it's event of HMGS Midwest, the convention fee plus the annual $10 dues are built into that. Only members can attend. It's fine. It's how they separate it for their own accounting purposes. If they charged a little more and didn't give you a membership, what would be the difference, really? Game Master Weekend, a little bit less, right? Let's see. Single day Saturday, single day Sunday. It's all pretty. Weekend 35, that's 25 plus the $10 membership. That's your best deal. Access to the convention for the whole weekend, renew or becomes an annual HMGS Midwest member as well, 35. Shopper badge. So you can go down if you're not there to play games and you just want to get into the vendor hall. You can pay $5 for a day and just go in and go shopping around the vendor hall, which is not a bad thing to do if you like miniatures and you're maybe not there. You don't want to play in any games, but you want to go there to just pick up some miniatures or just, terrain or see what they got going. That's all cool too. So $5 is not a bad deal. Just get you in the door. Get your badge. Event schedule. Let's have a look at the schedule there. We have got 10 items per page. We're going to go down to 40 and see how many pages we still have. Let on down. 1, 2, 3 pages. Third page is going to be about 30, 25 events on it. So we're going to call that. Let's go to 60. Page 2 will still have that many. What do we got? Every event types. Most event types going to be historical. Battle of the Camps, building block style. There's a fantasy event. There's a sci-fi event. Hoth. That's Star Wars, right? More historical. Martians hit a wall 2, sci-fi there. Fantasy, The Last Storm, building block style. Frozen Winds, Sea of Ice, fantasy. And I'm pointing these out because it's easier to point out the non-historicals than it is to point out all the historicals at once. Go down here, Shell Shock, Advanced Future. Pop back over to page 1, sci-fi again. Martians hit a wall. Ice Station Zebra, not so much. Sci-fi, fantasy. Frozen Wind, Sea of Ice. Aliens. Such a good time doing an Aliens thing. Sci-fi here, another Hoth. So not a ton. Springtime near the North Pole. X marks the spot. A couple of fantasy events. Springtime near the North Pole. Run a couple of those. And keep rolling up. Cavalry Charge, the largest battle in Operation Cavalry. That's a sci-fi event. Net Epic Armageddon Demo. Hey, good day. Hey, I just saw you there, Heath. How's it going? Discussing badges for CMG Con? No. Or would it be Grognard Con? I think there's already a Grognard Con in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, associated with one of the other shows that uses the word Grognard in their title. But no. If we do anything, it'll be late in October, and we can't this year. Hey, George, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. This year, my birthday falls on a weekend, which happens to be the same weekend as Gamehole Con, which was moved up till the end of October for whatever reasons. Off to bed shortly. Hope all is well. Just fine. AARP Con. Sure. Thank you, George. Very kind of you to say so. virtual CMG Con. We should do a virtual CMG Con. Although I prefer the term Marktoberfest, which of course is the 8 days between my birthday, October 24th, and the 31st of October, Halloween, inclusive. So feel free to spread that around. We'll get to that one day. Do a little Marktoberfest just for the fun of it. We got to clear that off there. Go back to here. Pop back up here. Switch the screens there. Good to have you all here. Thanks for chiming in. I'll take a look over some of the historical events now, though. Axis and Allies. Classic World War II. Relief at Last. Let's have a quick look at that as well. More World War II, 1944. Armored, 4th Armored Division. Alrighty. Diplomatic disaster is sci-fi. Knock-long train rescue. We'll have a look at this here. 1919. Sean Hogan has been arrested and is on the train to Cork to face certain execution. Dan Breen, Seamus Robinson, and Sean Treacy have a plan to spring him. Tipperary Boo. So it's kind of a train heist for a spring a prisoner. Force on force modified rule system. Alright. Kind of nifty. We looked at the sci-fi stuff. Salem Church, 1863. That's a Civil War scenario. Semi-historical celebrity death match. I kind of want to see what that's all about. Virtual Greyhawk Con kicks off in October. That is true. Clovember. Marktober leads into Clovember. Yeah, that's a good point, Heath. Thank you for pointing that out. I got to keep that in mind. Yep, Virtual GaryCon will be in early October, and I think right after that should be Autumn Wars, the GaryCon miniature convention, or littler GaryCon. But I think that's going to be a live event in Lake Geneva, and that'll be middle October, and that'll lead into Gamehole Con toward the end. Semi-historical celebrity deathmatch. Did you ever want to be Hercules, Abraham Lincoln, Jack the Ripper, Queen Elizabeth, and other renowns from history? Now you can. Can your celebrity survive the death match against other celebrities bent on destruction? Fun, easy dice throwing game where it's your celebrity against the others. Kind of neat. People already signed up for that one. We got 6 available, so the 10 seats in that, 4 already filled. Scroll down a little bit, more Axis and Allies, but global. We got Battle of Edge Hill. Battle. Oh yeah, we've got some ancients here too. 480 BC. Greek fleet. Yeah, there you go. That's a naval battle using modified trireme rules. Okay. And Edge Hill, 1642. Earl of Essex, King Charles. Oh, okay. Good period. That's already pretty full. Yep, that is completely full. All right. Let's see. Stores River, Fronte Russo. There's an Eastern Front. Gettysburg, second day. That's probably Steve Fretz, former president of the HMGS. Kevin Kabay, of course, but now. Yep, Steve Frett, there you go. He runs some fantastic. This is 6mm miniatures, so super, super tiny. All right, Heath, have a good night. Thanks for popping in. Autumn Revel indeed. We'll be looking forward to that, too. What else we got here? Let's see. Small Deadly Space Rules. I believe those are Steve's personal rules. I think he wrote those himself. Storm of Steel, 1843. Another trireme skirmish. 1917, says World War One. Crusades battle. Okay, well, here's a little more sword and shield stuff. Historical, though, of course. To the strongest. 15 millimeter. That's one of the beautiful things about going to a HMGS Midwest convention, a Little Wars convention, is seeing how beautiful the tabletops are. Just the miniatures, the terrain, everything they've got going is fantastic to watch, to look at, to enjoy, take pictures. 1813, the tide turns. War of 1812, of course, with 1 year in. Aces tournament, World War One fighter pilots using Fight in the Sky Ace Advantage deck. Peter from Chicago, or from the Milwaukee area, of course. First patrol of the Cactus Air Force. This I am not familiar with at all. Let's have a quick look over here. Japanese have been showing up at noon around Guadalcanal. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is World War II. Check your 6 rules. Okay. Skirmish level, 6 millimeter. Good group, plenty of tickets available. Stephen Rue running that game. Frostgrave Explorers, Fantasy. Okay, so somebody's running a tactical level, skirmish level miniatures battle using 5. Paul Dayton is doing that. Nobody signed up yet. If you are a fan of fantasy miniatures battles, Lord of the Rings, GW Sigmar, older GW, Hordes of the Things, although these are individually based, not stands of miniatures. It's skirmish levels, so you're dealing with a squad. You might have 8, 10 miniatures, something like that, sometimes fewer, depending on the strength of those miniatures. And you go into a small 3x3 area. Very intuitive rules. This would be something I would jump in for sure if I were there. Hopefully I will be. I hate to get a ticket and then not wind up going. Yeah. Let's see, what day is it? It is for Friday at 2 p.m. Boy, that's a good time too. I can get down there by then for that. We're going to pop a ticket into our thing right now. Sign on up. You know what I should do, actually, is I should search by his name for other events and see if he's doing any others. Battle of Bed Show, that one's historical. Okay. So that's the only Frostgrave event. And I'm just going to click on Fantasy, see what else pops up. Those tend to be the ones that get my attention. Frostgrave Explorers, that's that Friday. Frozen Winds, Sea of Ice. Let's see what they're using for this. Skirmish, Frozen Winds, I don't know the rules. Well, that's a possibility. We'll take a look at that later. Frozen Winds, there's a second one, right? Yep, on Saturday. Keep that in mind. Battle of the Camps, building block style. I'll take a closer look at this one because I'm not sure what they mean, building block style. Until he's out. There's Rob Stark. Okay. Let's get ourselves a Game of Thrones themed scenario here. Stark Army is on its way to River Run. Use building block toys as figures. Alright. Interesting. I wonder if they mean as terrain. Hard to say. That's a hard sell on a place that prides itself on miniatures games, right? Last Storm, building block style again. This marks the spot. Let's go back to Friday, 10 a.m. It's only a 1-hour event. Fastest war game you've ever played. Done in an hour with robots, space aliens, Nazis, good guys, mushrooms, Marines, and Chicago's own the Bears. Novel dice rolls, the best new game you've ever seen. Jeffrey Kincaid, okay. Skirmish level, 25 millimeter. It says it's fantasy. Mostly because of the mishmash of different types all coming together. That's interesting. 1 ticket available. So he's just teaching this to one person? 0 waiting for tickets. Attendees, okay, 1 out of 2. So it's a 2-player, and the fellow running it will be just moderating the event. So this is a live in-person event, not online. That is correct. Starting up at the end of April. I think they will probably have enough people there due to the fact that most, as I was saying before, most of the demographic for this event skews older. Most of them will have been vaccinated at that point. I'm right on the cusp myself. If I'd gotten mine a week or 2 earlier, was able to do so. If I'd have gotten the 1 shot and done instead of the 4-week. So I may still not be able to go to this because of how close I'm cutting it. Historical piracy and ICs. That's interesting. Have a quick look at that one while we're at it. Let's see. 6x10 table. Tactical post captain rule set. I don't know that one. 16 tickets available. Well, you got to also remember a lot of these tickets will be available on the day. They hold back. I'm just going to pull that out of there. They hold back 25% of their tickets to only be filled on the day live in person. So 75%, up to 75% can be reserved online, but they do hold some back so that walk-ins and people that are undecided or people that would rather wait and have a look around before they commit, or people who aren't sure if they were going to be able to make it. Hey, Misty, thanks for popping in. They want to be able to have some tickets available for some people when they show up on site at the last minute. Anyway, that's kind of a rundown of what's going on with it. I think that gives you a good idea of types of events in general that they've got going. It certainly is a 80%, they say, 80% historical miniatures. And then 20% is some sci-fi, some fantasy. It is all miniatures wargaming, though. You might see some people playing a board game off to the side or whatever, but the events they set up for people to sign up for are miniatures wargaming events. 80% historical, little smattering of this or that. Steve Frett used to run his Lord of the Rings 54 millimeter games, this exploded War of the Rings games set up on the big map that he had spread out on a gigantic table with beautiful scenery. Anyway, that's about it. So I think the clock on the wall says we're winding down. So I'm going to thank everybody. Hey, Sarah, you were here. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I hope I get to go too, Sarah. It would be fun. Definitely would be fun. I didn't see any chainmail on the schedule, though. Historical or fantasy at all. So that's a shame. But a lot of years there are often chainmail. Sometimes when they theme it toward World War II or toward ancients or toward medievals, you get a lot more of one type of game than another. All right. Thank you, everybody, for popping in the chat today. Thank you very much. If you're here and you haven't already, please do follow the channel, the Twitch channel. If you are somebody who likes to come out to these live events, they happen on Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central here on the Twitch channel. Usually within an hour, you'll find them uploaded after the fact to YouTube. Link in the show notes. Will be in the show notes. I want to thank everybody. If you do check it out on YouTube, please do subscribe over there. Give us a thumbs up to any videos you watch and enjoy. We'd appreciate it. And also, feel free to comment on the videos, chime in on the theme, or give us a little constructive criticism. It's all welcome, and we appreciate it. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.